I'm going to work on step 68. This involves Philippians chapter 3 and Psalm 68. And both of these chapters are very long. And that's one of the indications that the two chapters are related. They're both long chapters. When I was and that's what I want to do is I'm going to do a little intro here, and then after this intro, I want you to read those two chapters, kind of get a handle on what's going on, and then I'm going to talk about a few things in the next video. When I was working on, when I came to the revelation, the Holy Spirit was talking to me when I would go out on runs at noontime in Hawaii, and he revealed to me the idea that the topics in Paul's letters were step by step the path, and that they lined up with the Psalms. And he showed me Romans first, and that came from Hebrews 6, 1 through 2, which lists 7 items, which told me that there's 7 topics in Romans. And when I lined up the first 7 Psalms, they came out very clearly dealing with the same topics. Psalm 1 in particular tells us a lot of information about what we're supposed to be doing, which is not in Paul's section in the first half of chapter 1 of Romans. It says that we're supposed to seek God through his Torah. That's in chapter 1 of the Psalms, but it's not real clear in Romans. Usually it's the other way around. Usually Romans, Paul's letters gives you the instructions, and then the Psalms is more cryptic and more application oriented. And anyway, that's how I got started on the thing. But as I started putting this together, one of the problems that I had was that the topics, like in chapter 2 of Philippians, there's 3 topics. Well, that means that each one of those topics is rather small, right? How do you know that chapter 2 isn't one topic, right? I mean, when you're first looking at it, you can't really tell that. Now that I understand that there are 3 topics, it's pretty clear that there are 3 separate topics in there. But at first it wasn't so clear. And so what I did is as I was going along, I would find Psalms that were very clearly dealing with a topic in Paul's letters. And when I could do that, then I could marry them up. And then the other ones that weren't so clear, I'd know how to space those out. And this chapter here is one of those ones that was very clear that that this chapter corresponds to this particular psalm. Now, if you look at the different topics in Paul's letters, you're going to see that Psalm 68 has got to be somewhere in the Philippians area, because you can move the topics a little bit, but not a whole lot. You have so you could put Psalm 68, maybe at the end of Ephesians or the beginning of Colossians. You could probably move it that much if you weren't getting the topics correctly. Now, in that particular area, there is one place in Paul's letters which mentions Benjamin. And there is one place in the Psalms in that area that mentions Benjamin. Okay? Benjamin is mentioned twice in Paul's letters. It is mentioned twice in the Psalms. And this particular place is where they marry up. And and so you can see in Philippians chapter 3, verse 5, he mentions that Paul is from the tribe of Benjamin. In Psalm 68, very interestingly, he mentions Benjamin in verse 27. There is little Benjamin, their leader, the princes of Judah and their company, the princes of Zebulun and the princes of Naphtali. Okay? So, and the word leader is prince. Okay? And prince is a very interesting word. The word Israel is a combination of the word prince and God. So it's the prince of God. Okay? Isra is the word for prince, and El is the word for God, Israel. Okay? So, Sare is the word for prince, okay? And the word prince is a very interesting word. It means to wrestle something away from somebody else. And this is what princes are. They go in and conquer, okay? And this is what we do as evangelists, and this is what Paul does. Okay, he is someone who is going to wrestle them away from the devil's kingdom through evangelism. Benjamin is one of the tribes of Israel. It is one of the tribes that went with the southern kingdom of Israel, and that's why Paul is from that tribe, and he is from the southern kingdom of Israel. And the word Benjamin means son of the right, and it is the shield bearer, right? And so this is someone who is a servant, and this is the topic here in Philippians is being a servant. And so Benjamin is very important here, and he's pointing out in Psalm 68 that one of the princes is going to be Paul, because Paul is the apostle for all of the latter-day people who follow God. They have to learn how to be an apostle, how to do discipling from Paul. So he is our apostle. So as such, he is a prince over the northern kingdom of Israel in that sense. So anyway, the two chapters are very long, so that's another indication. They mention the word Benjamin, and when you look at the topics, you're going to see that the topics are the same, and that's what we're going to get into in this lesson. So after this video, go ahead and read through those chapters, Philippians 3 and Psalm 68, and then come back to the second video.